probate side
But
of.
before you go to probate,
Yes, ma'am.
I do have one question. That $111,092 for the payments to election workers, I'm kind of having trouble with the math, because if you have 3 poll workers, an assistant person, and a manager, then that's 635 times the 13 is 8255 times 4 elections is 33,000. How do we get to 111?
In that line item, we're also, that's where we're budgeting for the 4 elections. And not only paying the poll workers, but we're also budgeting how much it's going to cost to do each election, which would be materials and yeah. I mean, we throw a bunch of that stuff. It used to be in, what do we have it in? Supplies and
materials.
yeah, we used to put it all in it.
Well, you increased it 40,000. I thought that was for the printer ribbons and cartridges and stuff.
I'm looking at my, did you make notes on what? Because my notes has,
We've got supplies and materials for 47,000, and then
It
payments
was
to others
74 last
11.
this year, and you got it to 47,000.
yeah, I got, let's look, okay, on the 47, I've got supplies, materials, support, ballots, rent, and cleaning. And that probably would include the truck we would rent to carry the machines, which I don't know if we can even do that this time or not. And then the one salary and wages, which I think I got that wrong, because this payments to others was a new line item, right? Because we didn't have it before.
What was the one we added? To take it out of payroll.
And what did we figure, what did we figure for election this time, because it was,
I think it was about 28,000. 28 and some change.
I can't remember the exact number, if we do 28.5.
That's what I'm thinking. That should be.
And we know we're gonna have 3. That's 85.5. I wonder if she went ahead and budgeted for 4.
I think she did.
Times 4 is 114,000.
I think that
So,
111, if
yeah.
you divide it 4 times, it comes out to be 27,700.
Okay, so then that's how last year the last time we thought we were gonna have 4, we budgeted for 3. Well, we knew we were gonna have 3. We could have had 4 if we'd had a runoff, and we agreed down here that day to not count on the one we may not have, and let's just budget for the ones we know we're gonna have, and if you have another one, then we can amend the budget. I think what she's done this time is went ahead and said 4, which we know we're gonna have the presidential preference, we're gonna have the May primary, and we're gonna have the general. Those are 3 I know we're having. If we have a runoff at the primary, then there's gonna be our 4th one. And so if it ends up being 27 and some change, then that's.
So you're saying that each election you spend is, the people are 27,000?
Yep. I'm
Oh, okay, because
paying everybody, of course now,
didn't factor in the early voting people, and so how much do they get paid?
well, I don't know the early voting,
I think they get the same as just,
Yeah,
they
I
get
had-
the 110 a day.
I don't know that's hers, so I don't know what she pays them, to be honest with you.
I'd say it wasn't it 110 if you were just,
I think the bare minimum, she said a while ago, was 110, but we've got,
About she said 120, 125 for the assistant, 150 for the manager.
right, so 110 was just for the workers
yeah, 110 is just
themselves.
for the workers.
Right.
And
So
plus
that's-
also in that, we've got folks that we pay to carry the machines, go pick them up, bring them back. So, and those, and I can't remember what they are, but some of those are like, we pay them $50 to go get the machines and bring them back to the courthouse for us. I think, of course, we don't budget for that because it's just random, but I think at Leach's we had to have a porta john one time because our bathroom quit working, and that was kind of unexpected for that, but that's the kind of stuff that
And then
we.
y'all have to get did you have to have generators last time or something?
We rented one because just in case. If the power was to go out in one precinct and we don't have a generator, then we're in trouble. So we went ahead and rented one and had it on a truck, ready to go if something happened.
You had to use it at Big Creek, there wasn't any power.
It's happened before where we've had to have a generator. Actually, we've looked at purchasing one for our elections office to have, just in case we go to rent and can't get one, we have our own that we could have at our own disposal, so. What I'll try to do is, and I know she's got it somewhere, because she showed me a list of you got a lot of folks behind the scenes that nobody ever sees that's working in these elections that we pay them $50 to go do this or $25 to do that, and those, I don't have a list of them, or I would share that with you, but if you'll give me a few days, I can probably get that, so maybe that'll fill in the gap a little. And if you've looked at, was that it, or, okay, on the probate side, instead of me going through them all, I'll let y'all look at them and just see if you've got something that jumps out at you want to talk about. I didn't do a whole lot of moving anything different this go around.
What would be the advertisement that would be on the probate?
Sometimes we have to put things in the paper as far as, and I can't remember, what did we have?
We didn't budget anything for advertising in the probate.
That's why I was curious.
Yeah, we had $30 this last 12 months, and I can't remember.
Was that for job vacancies that were
May have
advertised
been
in the
that
paper?
we did run, I had job openings, that may have been that, what that was, but typically our advertising through probate is paid by the petitioner. If there's a petition filed and there's a notice that goes in the paper, that's included in the filing fees that the petitioner pays. So the only thing that we would be advertising would be like if we had a job opening or closing the office for some unknown, I can't even think of a reason why we would do that. Because if it's weather related, you make that announcement and we'll put that in the paper. But
Okay. That's the only question I have.
Everything else is pretty much right.
yeah, I kind of left it. I was kind of a little bit iffy on the travel expense and education. Lord willing, and everything goes good. April of next year, I will be receiving both my certificate in traffic court certification and probate certification. So that is I've been spending a lot of time doing that, trying to get this done as quick as I could.
So you'll be certifiable?
Yeah, I'll have actually paperwork that says I've made it, I've done it. But since then, I have now been added to the leadership, not a leadership board, but the leadership group, I guess, where they're wanting me to chair certain different committees. And if that happens, then I'll be traveling to do some of that stuff, I'm sure. I had to go to the Capitol several times this last spring for certain bills that come up, either in support of or to oppose. And so they've got me on the legislative committee, so I may be spending time for that stuff if it happens. So that's why I didn't lower the traveling expenses, because I don't know how much of that I'll be doing.
Okay.
So I just left all that as it was.
They don't reimburse them?
No, the training that we go through, and I think there's a code section that says the county pays for the mandatory training. Now, some of the leadership training, the council themselves actually pays for our rooms to go to that. So they do cover some things, but the majority of the training that I've been through the last 30 some odd months has been county funded because it was mandatory. These 2 certificates I get means that I have met that mandatory requirement, and now it'll just be continuing education hours that I'll have to go do. So hopefully my time in Macon and Columbus will be no more, because I did not enjoy either one of those places.
I like Columbus.
I did not. Savannah was okay, but Columbus and Macon, I went to Macon for, seriously, the first conference I went to was 4 days. I never left the hotel. I would eat in the restaurant in the bottom and go back to my room.
First time I went to
I did
Macon,
not
there was
want
a drug bust in the room. Underneath me in the hotel. There really was.
So I laid low.
Yeah.
So that was it on that. I talked to Charlie. We have got some computers that we're going to be hopefully replacing. The computers that we've had to replace some already. We've got a couple that are still the same ones that was purchased, I reckon, when the courthouse maybe was.
There's still some of those floating
Yeah,
around.
so, like Tammy said, they're getting to where you can actually probably walk to your car and come back in time they boot up and get ready to go. So, we're gonna try to replace some of them as we go. I don't have anything that's just crashed and I've gotta have it, but we probably will try to rotate those out in the next, either at the end of this year or the beginning of next year, so.
You don't need to worry about anybody hacking into those, though. They're not hackable.
Well, and probably because you can't get them to come on.
Well, right. Those
You can't get to them, but nobody
that
else
they're
can.
so old that they don't have any
Right.
code to get into them, and so those are the safest computers there are. Maybe we should keep a shovel in case something happens.
Because I mean, if this come out of my budget, I'm carrying it back upstairs.
I'm sure, if you get on your budget, yours retains the one.
I'm thinking, we have my paper clip. All my
Wait,
stuff.
now, don't take my paper clip. We're down to 1.1 million now.
Yeah, I'm trying to cut my budget here, yeah, for 1.2 million.
million.
Any other questions for me?
How you doing, Grandpa?
Do we have any capital for that?
Having fun?
Oh,
Moving
did you
up.
say capital question?
Capital debt?
The only question I had, and I don't know if this falls
Oh,
into
the
that,
shelving.
is in our public record room upstairs in the probate office. If you've ever been up there, it's kind of a small room anyway, but they took some of those metal rolling files, like,
Like what we got
well,
up
it
here.
was like what Glenda Sue had in hers. It's got the rollers on the bottom, you slide the book in, it rolls, and you pull it back out.
We got
They took some of those, I think, from the old courthouse and put up there, and we got a lot of books, and I'm talking old books that covers are coming off of and people pull them in and out. We've got one whole section where we've got books standing on top of the shelf and then books standing on top of those books. I had looked at trying to figure out a way to put shelving in that room where I could put these books in a better state where they're not falling all over each other. Actually called a company that does those metal shelves, had them come in, measure the room, and give me an idea of what I was looking at. I don't know if I told you this or not.
I don't remember this part.
Lord, I mean, if I'm not bad wrong, it was nearly $15,000 for them metal shelves.
Yeah.
And so I said, thank you, appreciate your time. I don't even think I even bothered to show you because it was like, well, good to see you, enjoy one of our local restaurants. So then I kind of just dropped it. But since then, I've thought about, and I think it would work if I could find somebody that could come in, measure the room, and build wooden bookcase cabinet type things. Now, I don't know if that'd be any cheaper or not, it kind of would, maybe. But I thought about getting some prices on that to see, because these books, some of these books are, 1800s, we got records in that, and the covers are falling off of them, and mainly because when you go push it in there or pull it out, They're just coming off pieces, and I thought if I could get something built where they each had their own little slot that I could slide them in, and instead of laying them flat, and you turn them up, maybe I could pack more in there. I don't know, I'd have to have somebody kind of look at it and give me an idea, but when I mentioned that, I first asked Sandy if that's something I talked to the building authority about, because I didn't know if that was something they looked at, because I knew they kind of looked at our carpet walls and, stuff at the courthouse, or if it was a capital project, so.
They would have just come back to us and said, go look at it.
So I just wanted to bring that up. I've been up there now for 30 some odd months, and it's not the end of the world. Nothing has fell on nobody or hurt nobody, or we've not just had a book just fall in a million pieces. But, and to be honest, with technology the way it is now and the scanning that we do, a lot of those books are not, they're kind of dated, and so we're not adding to that. I don't think that we're going to necessarily run out of room in that room, because everything is now being able to be scanned and you can pull it up that way. But to preserve what we've got, I was wanting to try to get something that I could do that better than what I've got. And if y'all want to come look at it, I can show you what I'm talking about, but I'm just throwing that out there. I have no idea what it would cost. I've not asked anybody about wooden cabinets, so I have no idea what that would be. But, I know some guys that does carpentry work. I could ask, hey, y'all come measure, give me an idea, this is what I want, and see, and then get back with y'all on that, or.
It can't hurt to find out.
Yeah, I'd like to know personally between that and the metal cabinets, because when he handed me that quote, I like to fell over, because we were gonna use what we had, and he was just gonna be adding to that.
Yeah.
And it didn't look like we were gonna be adding that many cabinets, but evidently they are very well thought of. And maybe the rollers are better rollers than they were back, I don't know, but it was gonna be expensive, so I just dropped it and kept on going. But I may get somebody to come look at it, give us an idea, and then I can always get back with y'all on that later. Is that it?
Mhm.
All right,
Thank you.
Thanks.
and I'm doing